Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of My Grandfather's Road, yet another podcast. But this time, it will be different because I have a new special co-host with me, and it is none other than my dad.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yes.
Finally.
You. Oh, wow.
I put you on screen.
I was waiting for this for the last 11 or 12 years that you started YouTube.
From the moment I started YouTube, you wanted to be on camera, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there was that little bit of...
to steal the limelight from you.
I'm pretty sure you will steal the limelight because you are quite an eccentric character.
Oh, you feel so?
I definitely feel so.
My son, you say your dad is eccentric?
You don't feel that I feel so?
You are right.
I do find it quite amusing when we go to family gatherings, and in fact, I think you are the one who amuses most of my friends.
I'm the one doing mostly the talking.
The work. You're doing the PR work. So that's very interesting. Would you like to give a small introduction about yourself to the people who are watching you? And then we'll get into why we are doing this. And
for people who don't already know,
I'm sure actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know.
Your audience would know. I'm JianHao's dad, and I'm unemployed now. If that interests you. No.
You're retired.
I'm retired. I'm just making a joke of it. I've been retired for the last 5.5 years. Very fine life after retirement.
Really?
Okay, in the past, I was a civil servant for 38 years.
Working where?
How about that? Ministry of Defense.
And that was your first job?
And my last job before I retired off on 1st March 2018. So spending a long time, 38 years in the civil service. It's quite a record.
It's quite a long
I would say it's quite a record. Considering that even myself, I'm not the very too goody good shoes type, always having something different. I can be cynical, defiant, and basically very rebellious if I want to. I don't know.
I've never seen that side of you.
You don't know.
I've never seen that side of you.
Even the civil service that I was in had never really seen that side of me.
Okay, so who sees that side?
Huh?
So when does that side come out? When does it come out?
Mama would tell you. Mama would tell you because I conceal my own sentiments pretty well.
Okay.
So basically, 38 years, MINDEF doing basically managing
stuff.
Security and intelligence liaison with all the various or Singapore's various security partners in the world.
Wow.
And that
I've never asked you about this. But I've never asked you about it. But is this something you can't say?
Yeah, yes, of course. I think
that's why you're just
better.
Like, the security,
all
the
these
intelligence.
years, I have never really voiced out.
So you know cool
exactly.
stuff?
Huh?
You know cool stuff?
Cool stuff. Depends on how you see it.
You know stuff
things that I did were uncool. Uncool, man. How could you be cool?
I think it's pretty cool. When we were young, firstly, to give context again, we traveled for 12 years. We lived overseas. The family lived overseas for 12 years. My sister and I, we were taken away from Singapore. Well, not taken away. Sorry, maybe that's not the right word. We moved away.
You were uprooted.
We were uprooted. My dad got sent to Cambodia when I was 7, and he decided to take the whole family along with him.
You had no choice.
We had no choice.
That's why I said
I got taken away.
We didn't even ask for your consent.
I didn't know what would be good for me at that time. If you ask me for consent at 7, I'll be like, of course I want to stay at home. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to play soccer after school. But if you ask me today at 30 years old, that was one of the best experience.
Exactly.
I mean, that was the
on hindsight,
the shaping experience
of
my life.
In fact,
So back to the context. We lived overseas for 12 years.
yes.
Why are we talking about that again? Oh yes. My dad's job.
Okay.
So we had to go overseas for 12 years, and that's how we lived our childhood lives.
Yeah,
And when I say that I've seen some cool things, I'm pretty sure a lot of the experiences are not normal to the people around me. And when I share my experience, they think it's cool. So perhaps at that time, moving into Cambodia, it was at that time it was a developing country. There was literally one supermarket in the whole city.
Tough for anybody.
Most of the time,
especially kids.
But we stayed in a hotel.
Yeah,
that's one of the coolest things. Like, have you guys watched Zack and Cody?
What's that?
The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody is about these two twins. Okay. They live in a hotel with Mr. Mosby, and I always tell my sister that it felt like our 12 years of our lives felt like we were Zack and Cody.
Yeah.
Living in the hotel, ordering room service every day.
It looks like hotel actually if we bring ourselves back to those days.
It is a hotel.
It's a hotel, but it's actually meant to be what you would otherwise say as service apartments.
No, that's Vietnam. When we first moved to Mikasa.
Imperial Gardens.
Mikasa is hotel.
Okay.
Imperial is also hotel.
Mikasa,
if it has a tennis court, it is a hotel.
Mikasa for I don't know how long, 1-2 years.
2 years.
And then Imperial wasn't really just hotel. Like it was
a villa.
A little of a mix.
It was a hotel villa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when we moved to Vietnam, it was service apartments.
Yes.
If there's housekeeping, it's a hotel.
Yeah, exactly. Housekeeping.
We had housekeeping for 12 years.
Service apartments also have housekeeping, right?
Okay, well, not
anyway,
a matter we need to debate about.
Nothing to argue about.
Yeah. So, I would like to get into why we are doing this. Why we are finally doing a podcast.
I'm all ears.
So I thought to myself, why another podcast? I don't think people want to see me do another podcast. In fact, I don't even want to do another podcast.
People want to see me.
I have no doubts about that.
Yeah, man. I have no doubts about that.
I love the confidence. I love
the ego in me.
Back to what I was saying about starting a podcast. I think people see me do a lot of podcasts before. And I like to dabble here and there. I like to explore different formats in content creatively and sort of just lead the team into untapped waters. And most of the time, I like to see them carry it on for me. And then I go find another gold mine.
I think it's a positive outcome.
Yeah. With podcasts, you know me, I just don't really like talking that much.
Yeah. You just let me do the talking. What's the difficulty here, man?
I mean, yes. But in general, why I stopped the rest of the podcast is I just don't really enjoy talking so much. Because in my normal daily routine, running the business, being a parent, and most importantly, I would say the most difficult thing for me would be coming up with ideas and scripting, and that really requires me to be like in my zone, not talking, just fully concentrated. Sometimes in front of a laptop, sometimes with a coffee, and it's doing stuff like this where the last thing I would want to do is sit down, talking for 2 hours, meeting people, and I'm quite the introvert.
Be so mentally engaged. For 2
it's a very
hours,
high input environment.
It's really a challenge. I mean, my mental faculties doesn't allow me to stay that long also, you know.
Yeah, okay. We do 45 minutes.
I only talk in spurts, if you realize. some minutes or seconds are switch off.
I understand. After 30 years, father and son, I thought it would be interesting to reach a new level of connection with my father at a time where he is at the peak of his wisdom and has a lot to, I think you have a lot to offer to not only our
peak
fans.
Is questionable, but
you don't feel so?
I think I'm in
you think you pass your peak? Wisdom-wise, wisdom and knowledge.
Faculties.
Okay.
Wisdom is there. Yeah, if you say peak, then it's a little arguable. My peak should be when I was in the civil service towards in my 40s, 50s.
I would disagree because if that was your peak, then if we were to do a podcast at that time, you would not be able to share.
I would not be able to be
the
so
retirement
free
life. You would, exactly.
In expressing
you would not
a
be
lot of things.
in the right mental frame.
Right on.
So I think
this
5
is good time.
5 years.
This is good time.
Exactly. 5 years of retirement.
So you were right to have waited.
Of course.
Against what I was saying.
Yeah, I know when's the right time for everything.
Years,
Don't worry.
God.
I know when's the right time for everything.
Yeah,
but back to what I was saying, I think you have a lot to offer to the many fans and viewers who watch us for years. And of course, our goal is always to inspire people to spread a positive outlook to those in need.
Sure.
And I think when people talk to you, whether they are in a good mood, bad mood, or whether in times of need, you seem to be someone who can always inspire.
Make them chill a bit.
Make them chill,
Yeah.
It's a very...
relax.
Relax.
I think
you are very relaxed
because
at this point.
I'm relaxed now. It's always easy to make other people around me feel as relaxed.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but I think you do pretty well if you are naturally happy and relaxed.
Amazing. But how do you naturally be happy?
Just don't need to
relax.
think about too many things. What is there to think about at the age of 66?
Not everyone is 66 here. How about the younger ones?
Okay, right. That's true. I think it's all very difficult to say. To each his or her own, I would say. If you feel happy, you can laugh at yourself every day. I mean every day. I think life is a lot better. But who can laugh every day at themselves? So it's all up to you, as I keep saying. And in my case, maybe at my age, it's really just easy to laugh at yourself. Nothing worrying you, Yeah. Even in talking about a lot of things, you just let your own feelings carry you.
It's chill.
Whereas in the past, I used to be a little stumped on issues that I would like to say, on even matters that I would like to say, because it's like, you need to be well behaved, disciplined, careful with what's going on around you, react accordingly. A typical civil servant.
Right.
Now
so
all
your job made
thrown
you
out of the window.
So your job made you into a very uptight, very careful,
I think I don't just blame the job, but
the environment.
Definitely the job, the people around you, and then your age. I mean, at that age, 30s, 40s, you want to be I don't think it's going to be easy.
Yeah. So another reason why I wanted to do this podcast, which is called My Grandfather's Road, which we will be doing a lot more of.
Good name.
Another reason I wanted to do it, yes, you are.
Right.
That was because I think that aside from all the wisdom and advice and knowledge that you have to offer to the world, that in fact, once we put it on the internet, there's a high chance that it will be there forever. Your grandkids, your great-grandkids, your great-great-grandkids perhaps will watch it one day and
why not?
And understand
even
who
if
this
I don't
person
get to
was.
See.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you'll get to see it. You seem like the type that will watch the whole podcast before.
I will.
My dad is the type that will watch the whole podcast before he sleeps.
True.
And sends me a long message about how we can improve and what we should be doing.
Yeah, when you don't have very much to do, that is the outcome. You have to critique it, something that you are looking at.
And I think it's an interesting way to leave a legacy. A legacy of wisdom.
Wow.
Words.
Wow. And you're giving me that opportunity. Why not?
Yeah.
I step it up, in double quick time, man. As the army says, double quick time, man.
Amazing. Let's begin with some questions that the producer has produced. Since this is our first episode,
okay,
let's just take it chill. We don't know where this will go. I'm thinking we can do a few episodes. One is because we are father and son duo.
Okay.
Aside from exploring this connection and relationship over the next few episodes, and for when we do this podcast, it would be interesting to get some guests on. My first person who I thought would be Ridwan, because Ridwan has daddy issues.
Daddy issues? Meaning what?
Ridwan has a dad situation. He has a few dads, and it's an interesting relationship, and he's very open about it. He also lost his father, so it'll be interesting. I think we can invite my sister Kaylee to come on the podcast. We can talk about our time in living overseas and the childhood that we had.
Fine.
What do you think? What are some guests you would like to have on the show? Now, how about this? A bunch of OnlyFans girls.
Anything.
And
first,
you get to ask them about.
Clear with mama.
It's okay. I'll give you a separate chair.
No problem. Anything goes with
Anything
me.
goes.
Anything goes as long as we can make it interesting.
Yeah.
Fulfilling for ourselves and for people who are listening to you, watching you. I would say anything. I would say even get some girl Thai singers who are damn good in their profession to tell us a bit about, because it's something I grew up with,
Okay.
Girl Thai, people, singers, professional, good singers. You have to differentiate them from people, from what you call singing enthusiasts, something like that. These people can sing and then tell us a bit about their life as a girl Thai singer. For example,
Sure. We can bring anyone.
Issuing this challenge. It can be many other things. Many. I can conceive of a lot of things. Just question of whether we will have therefore to stagger things a bit.
Sure.
Over the okay.
I'm sure the team will handle it.
Okay.
So let's begin with the questions.
Wow. You take one only, right?
Oh yeah.
And then we will talk about it.
Okay. You.
Okay.
Sure.
I will.
I'll let you do it first. Okay.
Okay. When was the last time you felt loved by him? So when was the last time I feel loved by you?
Yeah.
And when was the last time you felt loved by me?
Oh, I have to answer it too?
Yeah. Or what we.
Okay, let's do it.
Maybe let me start with it because I very chiong one. I would like to answer this sort of very interesting questions. I shall say this. How has not really been very much by my side. In the so many years, 10, 11 years since we came back from Cambodia, we didn't really spend that much time together. So, of course, I wish we spend enough more time than that. But you are busy and I was also still working and all that. But father and son, the way I see it, you don't need to speak volumes all the time. Okay? You just know you have each other's emotional and spiritual support. Right? So if I don't get to see you for 3 weeks, even though we stay quite near actually, because everyone has this thing to run around with. I mean, it would be good to see each other every day.
Of course.
It's not possible and I'm not craving for that. So I would say, for me, the last time I felt loved by you, or I felt love, was only yesterday. Why yesterday? Can you guess? Or maybe 1 or 2 days before yesterday. 1 or 2 days. Or maybe...
You want to give me a hint?
Okay.
What happened?
It was in your IG.
It's in my IG.
You were playing with my granddaughter. You were just having some chill time. I wouldn't say playing. You were having some chill time.
Okay.
So what did that sort of make me reflect? Somehow, the sentiments, or even I say the love that was emanating from you to her, and her love for you, it just make me feel, I'm back with my son at the same thing. Somehow, the feeling is not always seeing you means anything. It's seeing how
spiritual thing.
It's seeing how you give love and how the kid love you, and it brings back to me that yes, for that moment, I was really wanting to give you a hug as well.
Oh.
Okay, so for me that's that .
I'll give you a hug.
Sure. That hasn't happened for a long time. Okay, we are not doing it for the show, but that hasn't really happened for a long time. So, okay, I think
my turn to answer, or do I ask another question?
Yeah. You tell me. I'm just interested to hear you out too.
Well, there's never a time where I have never felt love from my parents. So from my dad, from my mom, they're always here for me. When we go for meet and greets, even those in which we don't text them because maybe work commitments or you're afraid to trouble them. When you look at the crowd, somehow they are at the back. So it's this kind of support and love that my parents have been giving me, and creating that whole support system. When Starly is sick, my mom rushes down to the hospital and helps Debbie out so we can have a few hours of rest. And it's this type of love and support that I get every day. So for me to answer a question like that, the last time where I felt love, it would have to be something of a very different level. Not because I don't feel love, but because I get it so often. The last time I felt love from my dad. Okay, I don't think it was the last time, but I will take it back. 4 years ago, my dad is rather. I would say you are rather thrifty. In a sense where you are very careful about how you spend money.
Very like people of our generation.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. And he's not someone who would anyhow spend his money. But I remember my first confinement week in army. I came out and I was talking about how my leg was hurting. And my dad bought me a OSIM leg massage.
Foot massager.
Yeah. And I thought, wow, this thing costs $700. My dad must have missed me a lot.
What do you think? Of course lah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to the next question.
You pick it and read it and answer it.
Wow.
When you answer, you're giving me time to process it.
Okay, sure.
But take your time.
Respond to this quote. I believe in tough love. But for tough love to work, love must come first. We must love tough to bring out the best in those who lead. John Gordon. Very long quote.
Wow.
Basically, respond to tough love, I guess.
But then indeed, it says so many other things. But it's basically about tough love.
Okay, let's talk about tough love.
Okay.
Do you feel like you've... Oh, I'm supposed to answer the question.
Take your time.
But I will answer my question. I will respond to the question with another question. Do you feel that your love towards me has been tough love?
What is tough love? Can some people define or simplify it for me? What is tough love?
Well, it's not defined in this quote.
You love, but you get very...
I guess you love, but you're not gentle. You're not overbearing with hugs, kisses,
you're a harsh
and
father.
words. Harsh would be taking it a bit too far.
Yeah.
I don't think it's harsh.
So what's tough? Tough. Anybody?
I would say tough would be perhaps the expectations.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay, maybe I can give you an example. If I had a son, I think the love that I would give him would be tough love. I do not think that I will love my son like how I love my daughter, with hugs, spending so much time with her.
You make that discrimination?
I don't think it's a discrimination. I think it's an expectation.
That difference.
I think I will make that difference.
Okay.
Of course, I will give him the love that he needs and the love that a man requires. But I don't feel that I would want to be too gentle. If somebody were to... If I see my daughter were... If my daughter were to walk, on maybe you see the floor is bumpy, right? I will hold her hand. But if I had a son and maybe he's getting into some safe danger, maybe I push him down. Maybe I push him.
Toughening him up is different. Oh.
Well, it's toughening him up because you love him. Because you love him.
No, I mean you of course love, but you also within the safety net, you also want to let him find his own way. Yes. Because life is about finding your own way. As you get on, in years, you have to struggle yourself, So maybe you think that a father's tough love would include things like toughening up the child, especially a boy in this case.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You already responded, or I should respond?
You can respond. In fact, maybe you can share the difference.
I think it makes sense. Now that you have crystallized for me a bit, I think it makes sense. Tough love, if it means, being a little stricter with your kids because you want them to do well in life in the years to come and all that. I think I can live with that. There are times we must go tough on them so that they understand and they learn lessons in life within very safety range.
Yeah.
But there will be also times you want to shower love very much. And I don't know what is. So how is that classified? If you want to shower love, then that is not tough love. That is what? Soft love.
I guess tough love in a long enough time frame would also include once in a while showering with love. I don't think that's out of the question. But I think maybe I'm quite familiar with tough love. I don't think that you gave me tough love. I don't think it was tough. I think it's moderate tough.
Yeah. Maybe it came to you as that, but even I have.
I think with every father-son relationship, or the relationship between two men where egos will be involved, masculinity will be involved, then there will be some, toughness shared between.
Okay
I don't think that's undeniable.
That, but I certainly don't really practice much of that sort of thing because I don't even know what exactly it's all about, Okay, pass.
No, I'm familiar with this
We have
because
said enough.
I'm
I think
familiar
it's
with
okay.
no. I want to say that I'm familiar with this because I do have I lead a team of quite a bit of people.
Okay.
So
of course,
understanding
Okay.
people's
So
needs
that's
and
where you're
wants.
coming from. Okay.
And as I wouldn't say that I'm much older than them, but they all look up to me. And sometimes I realize that to help a person grow, tough love is very much needed. It's especially I notice for guys. To motivate them, tough love is
You
needed.
see, I don't think out of the box. It's not just about family. It's about anything in an organization. And
I think the end goal for tough love is of course to help people grow. I think that's the most important.
Got it. Okay, done with. Tell us about a memorable birthday.
Birthday.
I have.
You have?
I have had
Your birthday?
quite easily my birthday. How about yours? You want me to start first so you can have some time to think about it? Okay, let me start first so you can think about. Okay, memorable one, definitely. Okay, I can bring myself back 2 years ago, my 64th birthday. Where was it at? Can remember? You can't remember, right? Too many things running in your mind. Okay, it was at Capella, at our villa in Capella. And what did we do? You crazy kids, together with Debbie and put up such a big thing for me, including, remember, the Korean...
So what happened was we had the Squid Game birthday.
Yeah.
We had the Squid Game birthday. We thought it was funny because at the time it was trending, and
it was
and
really...
my sister forced my dad to watch Squid Game. And upon the first episode, he was like, "What's the big deal?"
She forced me on the first, but then after that, I willingly...
He was completely like not interested. Then after the first episode, my dad was hooked onto Squid Games. On the Squid Games.
Yes.
And so we it was during COVID where we couldn't go out. We were living in Capella. So we decided for the family to be together, and we did some Squid Game challenges.
Yes.
We had Squid Game cakes, and Starly dressed as the what was it? Agumane no Nima no Mina.
That girl that is like that sense the chills in you. Yeah, and that was memorable because it sort of brought us all together to celebrate my birthday. There was so much family warmth and family togetherness, harmony that of course doesn't happen all the time. It's things like that are rare, and that you therefore will cherish those moments.
Yeah.
So it really rings very vividly in my mind even till today. You know, every time I open my wardrobe, I will see your Squid attire.
Squid Game
attire. The blue Squid Game attire, the blue one, hanging about just towards the end of my not end, actually the start of the where the door is to be opened and closed. And why? Because quite naturally, I'm always, for some reason, wanting to see that.
Oh.
How about that?
Cool.
So memorable, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's defining.
Okay. It's difficult for me to not have a memorable birthday, I have to say, because Debbie is so extravagant in her planning. So everything is so different. But so, I have to say my 30th birthday was a special one. 30th because, of course, it's a big milestone.
Mm-hmm.
Just the number itself is quite big, and I had quite a bit of
and also with us.
Yeah,
huh?
Of course, with everyone.
Us, right? Wow,
with everyone.
Dinner, and then round 2 at
at the club, we had a shot together.
And forcing me to do club hopping. Tequila, I did 1 tequila and 3 what do you say? Ginger ale. Ginger ale, yes. And
that was enough to make you want to go home.
That was enough to make me worry a little bit because you see, I have this problem with what we call fatty liver. So alcohol can do severe damage on the liver. Okay. So I was feeling it already. I was feeling up there. I said no, don't go on. If I go on, I may just collapse.
Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Come on. Let me. I was doing it. Now you do it.
Ooh. Tell us about a time you were disappointed with him.
Disappointed with you. Wow. This controversial, man.
Yeah.
Wow, this is like very, what do you call, thought-provoking,
Yeah.
Okay, you want to start or I start? Because the last one I started. Can or not? If not, I start lah.
Yeah.
Bite the bullet lah.
Go for it. Do you have something? I'm trying to think. When my dad would have disappointed me. For a father to disappoint a child, they would have to do something very wrong. Very, very
but negative.
For a child to disappoint a father is not uncommon.
Yeah. Actually, okay, let me start. The word disappointment is too strong.
No. We have to stick to the question. We have to stick to the questions. We can't make it milder.
I'm never disappointed with you.
No. Okay, in my 30... No way in my 30s.
Hey, the heart is right side.
I was like...
Oh, left side, correct lah. Correct. Hey, hand on heart. The word disappointment is a bit too strong and harsh.
Okay.
In this case, let me sort of maybe rephrase it. It's not disappointment. It is maybe a little below expectation. Below expectation, not so.
If it makes you feel better about it.
Disappointment, right? Below expectation.
Okay,
sure. I tell you what is below my expectation, and this is nothing wild. Okay, what's below my expectation is that with you, is all this while, it's not yesterday or the day before or tomorrow. I think we're not spending. I think you know what I'm going to. We're not spending much time together. Okay? And I'm not spending enough time with Starly. So if you want to say disappointment, it's not disappointment, right? It's below expectation lah. I want to see you and Starly and Debbie more often lah. Every other day, let's say. But you are giving me that.
You can come by, the doors open for you.
You can always say that, but again, it takes a lot. And it's not necessarily your fault.
Okay.
The point I'm making is not necessarily your fault, but
it's
the point. No, nobody's fault. I think important to say is that, okay, you may make the effort, but it's not easy. So I have the right to feel a little below expectation that we can't see each other as much as I want. Not maybe not you want, okay?
Ideally, I would love to see my family every day.
Yeah, but that's life. I don't know how we can run around that. I mean,
maybe
everybody is busy.
Work harder. One day get big house, like a multi-generation house.
And by the way, I think this podcast that you have just created will actually be a positive thing in relation to my so-called below expectations about seeing you often.
I'm happy.
Hopefully draw us closer because you got no choice. You got to spend some time with me, right?
Yeah, of course. And I think that's a great thing about it is that because as a family, when we are at home, we are so used to just having each other around. Even when we having dinner, we're all focused on study. So it's very interesting.
But
it's very interesting to be able to sit here, be forced to sit here by ourselves.
Exactly.
And forced to have a conversation. And learn new things about each other every episode.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer this question. I will disappoint you guys with a disappointing answer about how my dad disappointed me, because there's it's for a parent to disappoint their child. It would take a lot. It would take my parent or my dad to do something very wrong or something very grave, and I don't think that my dad has made me disappointed in him. I feel like my dad has made me very proud of him. So I can.
Wow, that is the highest accolade of the day, man. For me lah.
Is it my turn? It's your turn.
My turn.
It's the last one.
The last one.
Is it the last one?
Let's see. Tell us about a memory about him, you or me, that makes you smile. A memory, quite easy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let you go. This one slowly. I give you 5 seconds. Okay. You don't need.
Sure. 5 seconds is over. A memory that would make me smile is my dad would always be present in big events for me. And let's not talk about meet and greets and all of that. Let's go back to school days, childhood days, right? And one thing my dad and my every football match, my dad would be there for me to watch me. He wouldn't even tell me that he's coming, but he would be there to watch every match and cheer on me on the side. And there was one time where it was the semi-finals of our tournament, and I scored a penalty. And up to this day, my dad would not stop talking about it. Like, he would share it with his friends. He would share it with my friends. You know, that time was JianHao's penalty in the top right corner. So it always makes me smile knowing that my dad is proud of me. And I know football is just one of the things. My dad sent me for tennis classes, and my dad would watch me from our rooftop playing on the tennis court. So that was nice. Every time playing tennis, I can turn around and see my dad.
Actually, there are many such moments that I have very memorable and have very much fondness when I go back to it, when I sort of reflect on it. Maybe the best would have been same thing about football, would have been the year, and it's very close to the semi-finals that you were saying in your days in Hanoi or UN International Unis, right?
Yeah.
It was the final. It wasn't just the semi-final. The semi-final was so memorable, and I don't want to go through it since you picked that as your memorable moment. For me, it was the final that that you all went through, and you won. You actually won. And memorable also because that few people on the pitch on your end were those that I knew. Okay, we had Suneng, we had Parut, I didn't forget all these. We had Hai and yourself. 4 out of 7 in the team. Of course, there were 2 or 3 European boys, is it?
Yeah.
I remember tall ones towering over you. But, it was so memorable because the build up to it was very tense because every game was so difficult.
Yeah,
right?
It was.
Even they're talking about penalties. It was done not in the finals. It was only in the semi-finals. So if you ask me, that would be the time, because I saw you all so happy, celebrating, so ecstatic, celebrating with your friends. And I know that was the time I felt.
You were happy.
I was not only happy, I felt that I was right to have put you through the international education. And because we went overseas, so it had to be international education.
Yeah.
Or international school curriculum.
Yeah, and that was towards the end of our stay in Vietnam already.
So I think most memorable but there are many
I'm sure.
Huh?
Okay, moving on to the final question. Last one.
I thought you said this one was final. No. Okay.
No. Last one. Oh, perfect way to end.
Wow. What's that? Come on.
What fulfills you as a father? Let me go first, since it should be easier for me.
I will round up.
4-year-old child.
I will round up the session.
Okay, so what fulfills me as a father? I'm a father of a 4-year-old child now.
Yes.
What fulfills me? I think it would be very different if I had a son. There would be different things and different activities and different expectations that I would have for my son. But with a daughter, I just want to shower her with love.
Yeah.
I just want to watch her grow, and each day watching her grow, watching her learn new words, watching her speak sentences, watching her express her thoughts,
clown around
and just growing into her own character.
She's really a ball of fire.
Yeah, just watching her grow into her own character that is not an exact shadow of myself or Debbie. It's a complete different person. Is absolutely fulfilling to me, and it's every single day. Just looking at her, it makes me feel fulfilled, and just watching her every day makes me feel like all the hard work and all the grind, all the hustle is worth it, because whatever I'm doing it for her. That's my answer.
Good. For me, it's very simple. If my kids are happy, I'm happy. I'm done. Good. But maybe I can even go beyond that. If my kids are happy and they are doing what they do best, from what I see, given their kind of personality, their aptitude for things, if they are doing a job that really basically gets the best out of them, then I will be happy. And I am. Seeing how you have grown up with your job, how Kaylee has grown up with her job with you, it gives me unspoken satisfaction, if there is one short way of putting it. Huh?
Amazing.
See? Good conclusion, yeah?
Good conclusion. So that's the end of episode 1. Thank you all for tuning in and watching the first episode of My Grandfather's Road with my dad. And we'll see you in the next episode.